Thanks, John, for the introduction. Before I introduce this year's recipient of the Virgil A. Parker Special Recognition Award, I want to offer my congratulations to all who are honored here this evening. You all deserve it. So, congratulations. A few decades ago, Stu Pospisil asked longtime sports writer Don Lee if he could help out with the golf beat. More than 30 years later, and after learning how to drive the company car, Stu is still covering golf. He is the most active and knowledgeable media member in the state in reporting on this game we celebrate tonight. He has covered golf for most of his 38 years with the Omaha World-Herald, where he's also been the lead sports writer for high school coverage since 1990. He's a University of Nebraska-Lincoln grad who grew up in Omaha-Benson's neighborhood. He began covering golf in 1985, writing about the likes of Susan Marchese, Val Skinner, Jim Siekman, Larry Sock, and many more. Stu has been a steward for the amateur game in Nebraska, and in particular has been one of the few media members over the years to consistently shed a light on the women's game, covering many women's championships. Outside of the NGA ranks, he's been there for the biggest moments in Nebraska golf history as well, including the 1996 U.S. Women's AM at Firethorn Golf Club in Lincoln, the 2013 and 2021 U.S. Senior Opens at OCC at Omaha Country Club, and the several stops for the Corn Ferry Tour in Omaha Champions Run and now being played at the club at Indian Creek. He's even covered the Masters and PGA Championship. In addition, Stu is the director of the World-Herald Pub Links Championship for Omaha area golfers from 1988 until its retirement in 2017. He's been a contributor to Sports Illustrated, Golf Journal, and Golf World. Stu has been honored by several organizations, including receiving the Herb Davis Award from the Nebraska Golf Hall of Fame in 2014 for his contributions to the game. Stu has been the historian of golf in our state for many years and has an endless amount of stories to tell about the people and places of Nebraska golf. In 2021, he released his first solo book, Nebraska Golf Out of the Shadows, a historic look at golf in our state. You should buy it and you should read it. It's really, really good. I've read it. Tracing the history of golf in the United States back, almost unbelievably, to a 6-hole round in 1887 on a remote course in Nebraska. He writes about legends like Johnny Goodman, the last amateur to win the U.S. Open, but puts a major focus on what he says changed the scope of golf in the United States, not just Nebraska. That's the development of Sand Hills Golf Club in Mullen, Nebraska in 1995. In the book, he tells the story of the state's courses, old and new, along with the people behind them who have made Nebraska a golf destination. And I think everybody in this room, with the golf courses that are popping up in Nebraska's a golf destination. Golf in Nebraska is better because of Stu Pospisil. The Nebraska Golf Association is better. Thank you, Stu, and thank you from the many amateur players for all the work you do for us. We appreciate it. Please help me welcome the recipient of our Virgil Parker Special Recognition Award, Stu Pospisil.
John, what time does the 10 o'clock come on? I've got the hour speech, I've got the 15-minute speech, and I've got the 1-hour read. So, first of all, thanks, John Sajovic, for the lovely introduction. John and I go way back. Actually, his wife Lori helped with our Luther League at Manual Lutheran in Benson. So actually, I knew Lori before John did, I believe, and it's just floored me that when I got the email from Craig Ames that I was receiving this, I couldn't believe it. You look at the list. We start with Virgil Parker, and then Wilma Gilliland's on there, Del Ryder, Tom Olson, Don Samet with Senior Golf, Gary Austin, and Dick Youngscap. I'm glad Gary Austin's not here tonight because we had a... He's here. Oh, Gary! Do you remember the time at Champions where my son Kyle almost ran into play? This was a junior amateur event, and we're out there. We're watching Alex Shockey, against Luke Kluber. And it's a 6-hole at Champions, and one of my twins, Kyle, decides he's going to be cross-country runner for the day. And he runs right up to Alex, almost in backswing. I'm just going, holy, you know what? And I think it was Pam Porter or Pam Patterson snatched him up and got him out of the way. And I'm just going, oh, geez, Gary's not going to like this one bit, because he was refereeing the match. And so anyway, Kyle has learned more golf etiquette since then, and so has Adam, my other son. And he's these kids, they're not going to be great golfers, but they enjoy the game, and you know, so do I, and so does our family. I'd like to express appreciation again greatly to the board. You know, again, it just floored me when I received the notice from Craig, and you know, you guys are all great friends. You know, if I start singling out anybody, I'm going to be missing something, but a lot of the longtime friends, and I look out and see the junior golfers here. You know, I covered a lot of your parents, and I hope I'm around so I can cover your kids as well. So, you know, golf is a community, and you know, it's just I'm so grateful to be part of it. You know, I look back at my career. You know, I came along at the right time. I mean, the experiences I've had. I always felt bad for Don Lee. Don Lee never got to cover a Masters. He toiled with the pub links in Omaha for 43 years. He covered state events even more diligently than I did. Fellow Benson Bunny, proud of that. And I had the chance, one of my coworkers had covered one of the first, I don't know if you guys remember this, the older timers, the Tom Osborne Golf Classic for senior golfers. And our writer was kind of moaning. I said, well, you know, I kind of like covering, you know, like golf. I'd like to try and cover it. So I went to Don, I went to Mike Kelly, and I think the first training I covered was the 86 women's match play at Fremont Golf Club. And had to drive a stick. That was the only car available, and I had never driven a stick before. That's the reference to the company car. I got there and back 4 straight days, and still can't drive a stick very well. But anyway, you know, going back to the list, to be the next one after Dick Young's cap, again, without Dick, I don't think Nebraska golf is where we are today, because he showed the golf world that you could build a great course in a remote part of the country for not a lot of money. You know, he spent $1 million on the irrigation and not much else other than the price of the land. And we have an absolute masterpiece that now is ranked 6th in the country by Golf Magazine and ahead of Augusta National. Can you guys believe that? We're ahead of Augusta National with a course in the state. It's just mind-boggling. And what's sired after that, you know, even the older courses that have become renovated, Happy Hollow and Omaha Country Club, and because of Omaha Country Club's renovation, we've landed the 2013 and 2021 Senior Opens, and hoping, wish Pat Duffy was here, he might be able to shed a little light, but you know, down the road, maybe we get a U.S. Women's Open in 2029 or 2030, or another Senior Open. What Dick did opened up Nebraska to people's eyes, and along with that, I've got to give credit to Wilma Gilliland, because she pushed Dick to take the U.S. Women's Amateur in 1996 at Firethorn, and I think that opened the USGA's eyes as well to the prospects of golf in Nebraska as a tournament destination. And you know, we owe a great deal of thanks to Dick, and it means so much to be the next one after him. Then we go to Virgil Parker, and Tom Chattel was right a couple weeks ago when he said that we did share a tee box and a press box. The tee box, probably my best story there. It was the '87 match play final. It was Rob Mullen against Bill Spangler. And it's a cold, damp day, and Virgil and I, Jeff Porter let us go out first in front of the final match so we could get out of the way, and I birdied the first hole. I think this is going to be my day. Well, I come in with the wreck of the old 97, and Virgil shoots like 85 and just smokes me. But you know, had to let the older guy win, right? But Virgil, he had an astuteness to him. He was a sports writer, a sports editor, kind of a Damon Runyon type character. He would fit in well with the sports writers of the 30s and 40s. Did a great job for the Journal-Star, and then he was hired to replace Del Ryder. If he was here tonight, he'd have a cigar in his mouth, and we'd all be having ice cream sundaes, as happened at his funeral. But the best thing that I think Virgil did was when he hired a recent college graduate out of Norfolk, won Craig Ames, and because of that hire, and when the NGA board, when Virgil retired, turned it over to Craig, Craig has taken this game in the state, amateur-wise, to new levels. And let's give Craig and his staff again one more big hand. You know, again, I look out at this room and think I've likely written about you or someone in your family. As Johnny alluded to, and Brian, golf is such a wonderful community. Never could I have imagined when I started on this beat, or even the high school beat, the lasting friendships I've made. And, you know, as I've alluded to, it's 2 generations going on 3. I'm 60 right now. I'd like to go at least another 10 years, God willing. You know, to your juniors here, look around. You know, not only your parents, but the award recipients tonight, and the people like Dave Schillinglaw and Jay Moeller, you know, Pete Godwin. You've got great role models out there that have paved the way for you, have made these state tournaments very good, and you can emulate them and how they've done in being gentlemen and ladies of this game, and learn from them, because they are great instructors. As you know, especially as you embark on a path through golf that you have no idea where it could lead, and certainly I didn't know where this could lead, certainly not to tonight. But I'd like to thank the co-wife of the year, my wife Sherry. Johnny, I can't trump you, okay? We'll call it a tie. I've got great friends here, Chip and Bob and Lisa and Heather, who came in from various places. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you, Nebraska Golf Association, for a night I'll never forget. Thank you, Sherry, for our family and sharing me with the job I love. And thank you to all of you for our fairway friendships. They are treasured so greatly, and I thank you all. Good night.
Stu, congratulations. You've just done a wonderful job over all these years. And we're going to finish on a sad story tonight. I hope you're ready for it. But Stu and I covered the Masters when Tom Seekman played in it. They have a media lottery. If they draw your name, you get to play the course Monday, the day after the Masters. They drew our names. We went to the course, taking the clubs out of the car. The guy said, "Sorry guys, we had too much rain. Put them away." No rain check. If anybody here knows somebody at Augusta, you have a connection, Stu and I would like to talk to you. But it's been a great night, champions.
Wait, do you still need a Kleenex?
Yeah, I'm still crying.
I said it was the grace of God that didn't let me on the course.